So you can't think of what you want to get your mom or your sister or maybe even your dad for Christmas. Well, this is the perfect gift, just in time. Naturally Silky Soap. They have a subscription service, or you can just buy directly. All you gotta do is head over to naturallysilkysoap.com. If you use my promo code SGK, you get a free bonus product on your first order, whether it's a purchase or a subscription, all of which work as fantastic stocking stuffers. And if you were on the fence about getting one of those It's Christian t-shirts, then you should probably go ahead and get one now, because we still have some left, but they are not gonna be around forever. So if you want one for Christmas, go ahead and order it now. All right, let's get into the review. This right here is an authentic Chilean hat that I bought, so that's why I'm not wearing a Santa hat. Merry Christmas, everybody! I can't believe that this is the third year I've done a Christmas movie review. Jeez, I love this show. Friends, there's a song. We've all heard it, can't escape it. I'm sure you've probably already heard it this year, maybe even today. If you haven't heard it today, you're going to hear it today because you'll be hearing it in this video. Setting myself up for a huge copyright claim. It's called Christmas Shoes. To be honest, for me, this is one of the worst songs ever. It's the most manufactured fake story of all fake stories in a song of all time.
You don't get tired of them just trying to make you cry with every song? I mean, they're just making stuff up.
It's just so perfectly and strategically artificially designed to make you cry. It's got all the unbelievable, frustrating elements that they put into Christian movies, all boiled down into one disgusting, potent, lethal 5-minute song designed to pull at your heartstrings.
This formula they just plug it into and, you know, and then you'll be crying at the end.
Plus, it's a double threat because it's a Christmas song. It's not like one of those songs like Don't Take the Girl that's popular for one summer and then eventually the popularity dies down and you don't have to think about it unless somebody brings it up in a YouTube video or sings it at karaoke. But no, this keeps coming back every single freaking year. So of course, since I hate the song so much, I have to review the movie that it's based on, right? Why not force myself to watch through this movie? Maybe when taking this story and stretching it out over an hour and a half, this movie will be the exact thing, the very thing to get me into the spirit of Christmas Shoes. Grab your popcorn tin and let's get right into my review of Christmas Shoes. Oh, it's a feature films for families. I didn't realize that. So this is the studio that brought us classics like The Buttercream Gang, Rigoletto, The Buttercream Gang 2, The Secret of Treasure Mountain. So we're in for a real treat with this one, especially since it starts off with,
I know most people
Yep, voiceover. And I think this is the perfect kind of voiceover whenever the guy who's doing the voiceover is also on screen. This type of voiceover just creates so many more questions than it lazily answers. Did he record this after he went to this gravesite? Did he record it before? When did this voiceover happen? Hi, I'm sappy Christmas Christian movie Rob Lowe.
Don't be like this, me. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV.
I know most people decorate grave sites on Memorial Day.
Yeah, for soldiers, not for your mom.
My mother loved Christmas.
But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not.
Every Christmas, I made my way to the cemetery and decorated her stone.
And despite the fact the voiceover implies that this is a very secluded area, Rob Lowe does run into somebody else at the gravesite.
Merry Christmas.
Humbug.
If we're open to it, the smallest of miracles can change our lives. The car that needs fixing.
Spoilers, Rob Lowe.
Even a pair of shoes.
Christmas shoes.
It was about 15 years ago.
I would criticize this movie for saying 15 years later and not making Rob Lowe look any younger, but I mean, have you seen him? This is actually quite prophetic. So we cut back to his life when everything was going so well. Everything's happy, everything's great, but of course, he doesn't quite appreciate his family. I mean, he's still a pretty good dad. He's not like cheating or abandoning his kids, but he's that perfect kind of white Christmas kind of bad dad.
I guess this means you won't be coming to my concert tonight.
I'm coming this time.
He worked too hard to get food on the table. Some of his other bad qualities are looking for a nicer home for the family.
You remember that big Victorian house on Madison Hill you were drooling over? For sale.
You are coming tonight, right?
And helping his wife find a job.
Go ahead and print out these new resumes for you. We're gonna need you back in the workforce if we're moving to Madison Hill.
I think Lily's used to having me at home.
Yeah, but we agreed you were gonna pursue it.
I said I'd think about it, right?
Look, I'm trying to liberate you, okay? And I'm gonna do that for you whether you like it or not. Oh, and he also aspires to do more at his job.
I'm better than what they give me. And I work too hard.
What a jerk. So as he's on his way to what I can only assume is the firm of Marley and Scrooge, a truck goes by and some shoes fall out. Some Christmas shoes. Wow. What magic. I mean, completely unnecessary magic, and you know what? Keep an eye on these shoes because I don't understand what the point of him finding these shoes is. It doesn't make any sense, and in fact, it takes away from the story a little bit. We'll get into that a little later.
Not my style.
Who was he making that joke for? Is it for me? Was it for my benefit? Not knowing what to do with them, he tosses them in his car to, I guess, deal with them later. All right, now we're introduced to the kid and the mama. And if you've heard the song, then you know exactly what kid and mama I'm talking about. Hey, let's make a movie based on a song that spoils the entire movie within the song. That'll be great, right? We already know how this movie's gonna end because that's what the song's about.
Throw the ball! Okay, I'm open!
Kid, I think you can just assume that when you're playing catch, you're always open. That's the idea, right? But
Okay,
just
ready?
as she
Hit me.
throws the ball, oh! As Christmas fate would have it, it turns out it's Rob Lowe.
Gonna watch me throwing that?
I was just trying to teach my son how to throw a spiral.
And like the jerk that he is, he gives them some helpful advice.
Fingers on the laces. A lot of wrist.
Man, I hate this guy already. We then get our first indication that something's not quite right.
Come on, Mom, what's taking you so long? I saw.
I'm sorry, ouch, the cancer, it hurts, ouch. Then we're introduced to Daddy, who checks the clock because, of course, if there's one thing we know about his character, it's that he's constantly cognizant of the fact that there's not much time.
If you ever want a part-time job as a short-order cook, you'd make a fortune.
Boy, I sure am a stereotypical working stiff, aren't I? Got a literal blue collar, I can barely make ends meet, can't even afford anything for Christmas.
We're not getting a dog.
You had a dog when you were a kid. That's a good point.
Yeah, look at me now. I mean, I can't make ends meet or anything. Did I mention that with my demeanor?
Are we poor? No, we just don't have a lot of money.
We got everything we need.
Well, I need a puppy.
I bet he also won't be able to make the payments on the medical bills. Oh, please save us, Obama. And as Mommy and Daddy are saying goodbye, we learn a little more about her condition.
Any word from the doc?
No news. So what?
Hey,
What about?
stop coughing. And then she plays this trick on him.
So what? What about?
Okay, what?
The puppy.
That's a dirty trick.
So the dad, he, as you would expect, he works at a mechanic shop, which is an admirable trade.
I was thinking maybe if I put in a cappuccino machine, that would bring in more customers.
If it helps.
You know what a cappuccino is?
Italian sports car.
This guy's a mechanic and he doesn't know that cappuccino isn't a type of car. All right, we then cut over to Harold Wilson Elementary School, where Nathan's teacher is reading from the Book of Foreshadowing.
The little girl put on her special shoes and ran through the woods.
And apparently Nathan's mom, Maggie, also works in his class as a teacher's assistant. I actually didn't catch that was what was going on here. I thought she was like the worst kind of helicopter parent, just in class. There is no way I would have acted up like that when my mom was in the room.
Why don't you finish the story?
I don't want to dream anymore because I'm tired of dancing alone, the little girl said.
Every time they dance alone.
Miss Andrews, come up here. Why don't you read the rest of the story?
I used to have a pair of shoes just like that. I know it sounds corny, but...
Well, was anyone else moved by this story?
But fortunately for the kids, they're saved from this sappiness by the bell.
You can get a real job here, Maggie.
Maybe in a couple years.
Well, you can have my job. Next year, I'll be in Florida. Leave the chaos to you.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I'll actually be in a pretty nice place myself next year. Well, let's jump over and see what Rob Lowe is up to at his job.
Well, we got a very worried farmer on our hands. If purity gets their way, there won't be another working farm left in the county.
Stay on top of it.
I used to work for the president. Well, it turns out Maggie is actually the music teacher as well, as we learn when the two moms meet.
I'm Lily's mom.
Oh, Maggie Andrews.
And Kate does what most rational people do, gives her sob story to somebody she's just met.
I was a music major for a couple of years until I met my husband and he was studying law.
And then you had a child and you stopped working.
Something like that.
Well, your husband must be proud of Lily.
But as we know from movies like Jingle All the Way, Hook, and other workaholic dads, they never show up on time for the thing that the kid wants the dad to show up on time for, that he's promised he'll totally be there. It's really an epidemic, and it can only be fixed through a miraculous adventure. Oh, the movie has just gone 5 minutes without reminding us that Maggie is going to die by the end of the movie, so here you go.
Lord, help me through this.
Ouch, my cancer. But before the big music concert, Maggie has some great news.
The city has selected your kids to sing at the lighting of the Christmas tree in the town square.
Wow, of all the public schools in this small town?
So rehearsals start on Monday and they better be good.
So Lily gets up to sing, but unfortunately, Rob Lowe is nowhere to be found. Wow, that is a nice DSLR. I think that's the new Sony camera.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies.
Ah, my favorite Christmas song. So Rob Lowe gets home, and you know what? He is just so obsessed with work and money. He's just a real Scrooge. His whole family is ticked off at him, which is, I gotta say, somewhat of a first world problem, right? At least your dad doesn't have to work in a coal mine for 12 hours a day. Wow, I'd love a camera like that for Christmas, actually. She's able to get that nice jib height shot from the floor.
And you had to be there till 8:30?
8:30? That's nice. I was up till 2:30 putting this video together, and my wife didn't care. I'm guessing.
You know, I'm used to you, Robert. I know you think you can do everything even though you can't. It's Lily I worry about.
He would have really liked the show. But Dad, I wished you were there.
I guess I deserve to be called Butt Dad.
I know you get tired of hearing it, but I don't have to be there to be proud of you.
Wasn't she wonderful? We're all proud of Lily Layton. What a terrific future she has.
Unlike me, who doesn't have a future. All right, so let's go see what the house visiting doctor has to say about her condition.
Your test results came back. Your heart's not pumping well. You're in congestive heart failure.
Sorry, I guess she doesn't have cancer, she has a heart disease. Sorry for misdiagnosing her, but I'm not a doctor.
I want you to go to Boston for some tests.
The end. Oh, no, it's not the end. It's just the beginning.
Hot plate coming through. Move your music stuff.
Ouch! Ah! My fingers! Ah!
I thought you were gonna take these back to the store.
Okay, so at first glance, you might think that the movie has started over, since the scene seems to completely parallel the first scene in the movie. Girl asks Rob Lowe if he's coming to her concert.
And you are coming to the Christmas concert, right?
If there's one time a year you can count on me, it's Christmas.
He talks about the house he's picked out for the family.
This will be our last Christmas in this house.
And he lets his wife know that he's been helping her get a job, which she clearly doesn't want.
You have an interview with Balser Pharmaceutical at 10 a.m.
Fine, Robert. Okay, case closed. I'll go.
But no. This is just the filmmakers reminding us that our main character has some character flaws. Meanwhile, Maggie and her family are adjusting to life with her new heart condition.
We can't go anywhere without this beeper. Jack has one too. If I get paged at school, maybe you could give Nathan a ride home. Okay, everybody, we're gonna warm up.
And as we all know, with every heart condition comes the inability to get kids to listen to you. But Maggie has a plan.
Silent night.
Oh? Can't believe that worked.
Okay.
And just as she gets them to calm down, Lily's mom shows up into the classroom to give her this folder she forgot. Wow, I just got them to calm down. So Maggie, being the manipulator that she is, puts a plan in place.
Maggie?
I can't do this. Take over.
You mean today?
No, I mean the Christmas program.
Of course.
But you were a music major.
I'm not capable. I can't.
But you have the heart.
Yes, you literally have a heart for it because I don't have a heart at all.
First Noel for shepherds.
I can't do it.
These kids are just awful. They're killing me. So she takes on the job. I don't know that that's how schools work anymore, where you can just show up and then you start teaching. I think thanks to No Child Left Behind, you're not allowed to do that anymore. Well, when Rob Lowe gets home, he is not happy about her missing her interview that he had set up for her. But before we get into that, let's get one quick reminder that this movie is about the song Christmas Shoes.
What are these doing here? Your father was supposed to return them.
Great.
What's going on, Kate? You missed your appointment.
I'm doing the Christmas program.
And we learn that Maggie isn't the only one with a heart problem.
Maggie got sick.
Give her an aspirin. Is that your problem?
She's waiting for a heart transplant.
Why can't the school come up with a replacement? Isn't that why we pay taxes?
My taxes go to pay for the prisons and the poorhouses. The homeless must go there.
Why can't somebody else be responsible?
Speaking of which...
Pair of shoes.
So Rob Lowe finally remembers to take these shoes back to the store.
You work at Wilson's? Better than that, I own it. Tom Wilson.
This fell out of a mail truck a while back.
Doesn't look like anything I ordered. It's not exactly our style, but we'll give it a try.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well then, why is he returning them at a store where they don't carry them? Seems like Mr. Wilson is stealing them from whoever did order them. That's weird. All right, so whenever Rob Lowe gets in his car won't start. It sounds like it's the battery, probably. He just needs a jump. But then, of course, he wouldn't have to take his car to the mechanic shop of the dad of the situation. Because you know what makes a movie really moving? Random connections.
Now that's the kind of guy that drinks cappuccino.
But then, something horrible goes wrong! No! The heart beeper, no! Meanwhile, since his parents are in the hospital, Nathan gets to spend some one-on-one time with his teacher. And they have some fun, lighthearted conversation.
Have you ever known anybody who's died?
Oh.
No.
He's never known anyone who's died? This guy's gotta be at least 40 years old. That's a long time without knowing anybody who's died.
Let's get out of here.
Meanwhile, Kate is having her first day of class. But as we've learned before, these kids are just the worst at listening.
Settle down. I'm here to take Mrs. Andrews' place while she's...
dead!
Mrs. Andrews told me that you guys were great, and I know that's true because I've been to every single one of your concerts, including the one where Troy threw up on stage.
Yes, embarrass him in front of the rest of the class. That's how you do teaching. Meanwhile, Maggie is going into surgery.
Johnny hit his knees and there he prayed.
Hey, Alan.
Dalton,
This is Nathan.
come with me. I want to show you something.
Come with me if you want to live.
Then Rob Lowe's mom shows the Christmas Shoes boy the shrine she has for her son that she keeps in her house, very creepily.
Got all this baseball stuff.
My son.
So she gives him Rob Lowe's old hat.
What's that?
It's a lunchbox, you idiot!
Robert's old lunchbox.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
I guess that's human speak. It does have a bit of a chill to it. Cool, cool, this is cool. Cut back over to the hospital and we've got some sad news. Turns out she doesn't get her new heart because, you know, that wouldn't be accurate to the song.
Maybe there'll be another donor. That's always a possibility, right?
Well, we may have missed our window.
All right, well, this is sad and all, but what about Rob Lowe's wife's career path?
Maybe I want to teach.
Go back to college.
Yeah, and get my teaching credential right.
When did this come up?
Robert, I've been trying to talk to you for months. I can't seem to get your attention.
I'm just trying to make a living, Kate.
What good is a living if you never take the time to live? So now, being really ticked off at his wife, he doubles down on his desire to work hard at his job.
Purity is claiming the farmers are taking too much water. He's gonna testify the fish are dying. Gwen, get it together.
What a jerk. Then he finds out that he lost the bid on that house he really wanted.
Well, what do you mean there's another offer?
Someone came in higher.
And what better way for the women to deal with their two trying and equally significant problems, but to complain to each other about men?
I don't remember the last time I saw my husband for lunch or dinner or...
I think guys are slow learners.
I don't know if I can do that anymore, Maggie.
My life just sucks so bad. Your life's so great. I mean, what little of it you have left. I'm sorry, I feel like you're coughing when I'm trying to talk about my problems here.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, just don't let it happen again. Then Nathan gets home and he overhears as we learn that Maggie just loves shoes.
So every year on our anniversary, we get dressed up and we go out dancing. I used to have this pair of dancing shoes. I don't know what happened to them, but...
Boy, this kid spends a lot of time overhearing things. Inspired by his mother's words, Nathan heads over to Wilson's department store, which is much like the TARDIS because it seems to be bigger on the inside than the outside, and begins his search for...
A pair of shoes.
See, like, what was the significance of Rob Lowe finding those shoes? He found them, he returned them. Now the kid sees them at the store. All it does is add an extra layer of unbelievability without adding anything to the plot. I guess other than Christmas magic? He then sees that the shoes are going to cost about 20 bucks. So the kid puts together a great plan to save up the money to buy the shoes.
It's worth a nickel. And if I get 20 of them, that's $1.
And if I ride my bike to Michigan, I can get double that.
And then I can buy my mom a special Christmas present.
I could start a whole career collecting cans off the street. Why hasn't anybody thought of that before?
Good idea.
Oh, and also, the thing that Rob Lowe is working really hard on at work is actually something very significant.
We're honored you came. No one else ever did.
So it's kind of a complicated situation that's going on. Basically, what seems to be happening is there are the local farmers who are using the local lake as the water supply for their irrigation for their plants. There is a so-called environmental group who is claiming that the irrigation is draining the lake and hurting the sucker fish. It turns out that environmental group is actually a front for this development company looking to make it illegal for them to use irrigation so the farmers can't water their plants. So if they can't water their plants, their land is useless, they have to sell it, and
then they buy at fire sale prices. It ain't the fish that's endangered, it's us.
It's a little weird that they're using this as a side story in this lighthearted movie.
Whatever's killing the fish, it isn't your irrigation.
Meanwhile, Nathan surprises his mom with some Christmas lights.
Thank you for the lights.
It would be better if they were shoes, just saying.
Your mom's right. Those lights look great, son.
Provided the doctors don't have to use a defibrillator or nothing. I mean, I'm sure that would be kind of an issue. Then Rob Lowe is reminded of the true meaning of Christmas.
I can still remember the sound of your feet on the floor after you climbed out of your crib. And some days I still think I can smell the grass.
Oh yeah, I smoked a lot of grass in my room up there.
Your father missed out on so many of those things.
Sweet Christmas, what have I done? Now it's time for these two neighbors to say goodnight.
Good night, Dalton.
Good night.
What in the world are you doing with all those cans?
Now, what's wrong with trying to make the world a little better place for somebody? You want me to turn off all the lights?
No, I want to keep them on.
I want to risk burning my house down.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
So the mom is dying, which obviously is sad, okay? All right? You know, some people don't understand why I make jokes about sad things like this. I guess it's just that if I didn't watch this movie, then I wouldn't even have to deal with it. I wouldn't have to think about it. It's like it never happened for me. So whenever I do have to face sad things head on, apply directly to the forehead, then I guess I deflect. This makes me feel a little bit better. Basically what I'm saying is I laugh to keep from crying. And this is definitely one of those scenes where I have to laugh a lot.
I love you very much. Don't go, Mama. Please don't go. Know what, Mom? Every time I feel my heartbeat, I'm gonna think of you.
Whoa, check your heart privilege, man. The next day,
Ellen!
Dalton makes a sad discovery. Great, she died too? I guess we already knew that from the beginning scene. Well, actually this turns out to be good because now you know what it's like to know somebody who died. You can now go talk to that little kid.
She lives on within us, Robert.
Excuse me, that's not our theology.
Won't be long, Jack.
There's not much time.
Where you going?
Out.
Okay, you gotta eat. So.
I already had some cereal.
How about your lunch?
Tuna fish. Dalton will be here any minute.
Wow, this single dad thing is gonna be easier than I thought.
Sure you don't want to stay?
It's Christmas Eve.
These shoes are just her size.
I made us lunch.
Thanks, Huck. So while his mom is dying, Nathan goes out to collect cans so he can get the money to buy her some shoes.
Hey, you remember when I told you I never lost anyone close to me? I lied. My wife died 11 years ago.
Oh.
Why'd you lie?
Because it hurts to talk about it.
And then something miraculous happens.
Wow!
Hey.
Look at all of them.
What's going on here?
It's a jackpot.
Wow, just another lie from this guy. Maybe he could have just given the kid like $5. That would have been a lot more meaningful than patronizing him in this way. But you know what? What does this guy know? It's not like he works with kids or anything. Oh, what?
You were right. This is a great place for cans.
Jeez, what a manipulative jerk. You found the Easter egg. Oh, you're so smart. Because when they grow up, they're gonna look back and say, wait a minute, those cans that I found, obviously he put them there. Great, I didn't accomplish anything.
Each one is worth 5 cents, and there's probably about 100 of them. That's $5.
That's a lot of cans.
and that's a lot of money.
So what are you gonna do with all that
junk? All that junk inside your trunk.
I'ma get you drunk, get you love drunk off my hump. Buy my mom some Christmas shoes.
So Rob Lowe, he's still caught up in this whole Rainmaker side story.
I gotta go. It's Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve and I just, no, I probably shouldn't sing that.
Merry Christmas.
Realizing it's Christmas Eve, he heads to the department store to pick up a gift for his daughter. All right, and at the same time, now that the kid's got his money, he also heads over to Wilson's department store to get the shoes. Oh, he would grab the Monopoly game. What a jerk. Then the kid finds the shoes and gets in line to buy them.
Sorry, sir, I've got to get them real fast.
$19.95 reduced.
Fortunately, in Chicago, there's no tax on shoes.
Can you hurry, please?
Can you hurry, sir?
You're $5.50 short.
We're really stingy about these shoes that we got for free.
Come back after New Year's, we'll probably be giving them more.
All these people lined up really makes it seem a little bit less remarkable. Yeah, here's $1. Just get out of the way, kid.
I don't have enough money, and my mom, she's been real sick. And...
Hey, slow down.
Slow down, he's barely said anything.
Did you ever know anybody that died?
Oh, this line again. Yeah, my mom, you know the lady who gave you that hat? She just died.
It's gonna be my mom's last Christmas. And I wanted to get her these shoes so she would look beautiful when she
meets Jesus tonight. So Rob Lowe lays the money down. He just had to help him out.
I'll pay you back, I promise.
Oh, yeah, you better, kid. Wait a minute, these were the shoes that were in my house for the last month.
Sir, are you ready to cash out?
Realizing Rob Lowe isn't ready to cash out, he hops in his car. But then, what? No wonder his dad isn't making any money.
Won't start again? Ever think of buying American?
Hey man, great seeing you. I wanted to talk to you actually about one of your employees just now. You know that pair of red shoes that I just gave you and you said you hadn't even ordered? He was being real stingy with some kid who was short like $5.
Come with me.
Also, that mechanic that you made me go to didn't even fix my car. I don't know if I trust you at all.
Come on.
And then, the Christmas moment you've all been waiting for.
Sure, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please.
And he finally makes it in time to give his mom his special gift.
I bought you these shoes to wear in heaven.
Wow, kid, did nobody ever tell you? You can't take it with you. What a materialist.
Would you put them on for me?
But I bought them for you.
Is this your husband, ma'am?
Yes.
Your husband has given us hope this Christmas.
So, it turns out, Rob Lowe was already doing something meaningful and important in his job all along. So maybe the lesson here is being a hard worker and passionate about what you're doing in your job isn't such a bad thing after all.
What happened to you tonight?
I met this boy. Do you know how much I love you?
So it turns out that God had sent that little boy into Rob Lowe's life to remind him
what Christmas is all about.
So to wrap up, Rob Lowe starts going to his daughter's things that she likes.
Lily's got a basketball game.
The little boy gets a puppy. Oh, and just in case you might have forgotten, this whole thing is a flashback. We still gotta go to present day.
You're the first person I've seen here on Christmas Day in years. Merry Christmas. You too. Nice cap.
Yeah, you jerk. I used to have one till my mom gave it to some little brat. Wait a minute. But don't forget, Christian audiences are stupid, so they really have to drive home the twist. The same shoes? But what does that mean? Wait, Maggie Elizabeth? Hey! That's the name of the person. Wait a minute, that must be the little boy. So that was it. Christmas shoes. I didn't think that it could be done, but they made the movie even more cliche and annoying than the song. Seriously, the workaholic lawyer dad doesn't show up for the kid's thing, the dying mother, the slow motion song, everything about this movie is so dumb. Look, I know being a workaholic is bad for your family. This just seems like a non-issue today. We have so many actual problems in this country with all the fathers who don't even stick around and don't provide for their family. Maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be constantly shaming people who do. I know this is a feel-good movie, great for a good Christmas cry, but I honestly think that Courageous was a much better movie than this. I know, I said it. I know! Not a great movie, super cliche, super dumb. I guess it served its purpose, making a movie about a song. All right, well, that's all I gotta say for today. By the time this video comes out, my wife, Carmen, has shipped out the shirts for the Patreon pledgers. That's right, this It's Christian shirt. Anybody pledges $10 or more in the month of November got one of those shirts. We do shirts every once in a while, but every single month, we're doing a gift. This month, if you pledge, you're getting, how about a nice football? Carmen and I have planned out gifts to send out every single month this year, and some of them will be new and creative shirts to anybody who pledges $10 or more. That's just a little thank you. Some of those people happen to be
Brendan Neely, Tyler Minix, John Duffy, who also has a YouTube channel. Also check it out. Those are down in the description. And also Pascal Schmidlin. That YouTube channel is really good. And of course, the Religious Nut and Hellbound Sitter podcast.
Well, that's all I gotta say for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm Kevin, holding Christian Christmas movies up to the same standard as other Christmas movies. Merry Christmas, and to all, a good night.
Wasn't she wonderful? We're all proud of Lily Layton. What a terrific future she has.